Hey guys, welcome to the channel. This is the Rational Radical. My name is Brian Paulin. I'm a former campaign volunteer for two Republican candidates in central Washington who has long since left the Republican Party because, yeah, a lot of reasons. More so, the whole racism thing really pushed me away during the birtherism Obama era. But since then, I've really started paying attention to who's bending us over a barrel, who's stealing our money, why is our system so fucking broken, and yeah, I found myself aligning much more with the progressive movement. So I now call myself a full social libertarian progressive. Elephant in the room, let's talk about the tangerine tyrant. America decided to get back with its ex. It's shitty ex, the one that, got it sick and made it sicker and then denied it was sick and locked up their kids in cages, and it was this whole thing. And he went to court a couple times and nothing really ever came of that. Even after they broke up, he had a bunch of other court cases he went through and nothing ever came of that. I mean, he stole a bunch of government documents and somehow nothing ever came of that. But that's where we find ourselves. Our landlord, i.e. America, has gotten back with its shitty ex. Well, when Donald Trump was running for president, he ran on two things. He ran on get all the brown people out because they're scary and they make me feel uncomfortable and I don't like guacamole. And he ran on tariffs. On Monday, he decided to expand the whole tariff idea, finally get into the weeds of it a little bit, when he announced that he was going to enact 25% tariffs on Canada and Mexico along with China. Trump plans tariffs on Mexico, Canada, and China that could cripple trade. The president-elect said that he would impose across-the-board tariffs on day one and that they would stay in place until Canada, Mexico, and China halted the flow of drugs and migrants. President-elect Donald J. Trump said on Monday that he would impose tariffs on all products coming into the United States from Mexico, China, and Canada on his first day in office, a move that would scramble global supply chains and impose heavy costs on companies that rely on doing business with some of the world's largest economies. In a post on Truth Social, Mr. Trump mentioned a caravan of migrants making its way into the United States from Mexico, and that he would use an executive order to level a 25% tariff on goods from Canada and Mexico until the drugs and migrants stop coming over the border. It's pretty obvious this dude doesn't understand tariffs. Because tariffs, what they do is when products come into the port, the purchaser pays the tariffs. Now, if he's trying to slow down purchasing from these other countries, that's great. There's other ways to do it other than putting a 25% tax on all goods coming into the fucking country. All that's going to do is make prices go up higher, and all the people that voted for him to help with food prices, help with gas prices, eggs are too expensive, they're going to learn real freaking quick, yeah, that's not how that works. Well, I don't think it lasted too long because Trump made a little phone call. Just had a wonderful conversation with the new president in Mexico, Claudia Sheinbaum Pardo. She has agreed to stop migration through Mexico and into the United States, effectively closing our southern border. We also talked about what could be done to stop the massive drug inflow into the United States and also U.S. consumption of these drugs. It was a very productive conversation. I'm guessing Eric must have finally touched some, or probably more likely Don Jr. I mean, have you seen the dude's nose? But yeah, so he kept bleating about it and said, Mexico will stop people from going to our southern border effective immediately. This will go a long way towards stopping the illegal invasion of the United States. Thank you. The dude's speech patterns just, they fascinate me. You kind of understand why people buy into like all the weird superfluous stuff he puts out, because it's like talking to a crazy person at a bus stop. Sometimes you're going to miss your bus just to hear what else he has to say about the government signals that are being beamed into his teeth. Well, that conversation with Mexico shutting the border, that's not exactly what happened, according to the Mexican president, who has kind of proved to be somewhat based and a pretty substantial thorn in Trump's side. Mexico's president suggests retaliatory tariffs in response to Trump's threats, which is what led to the phone call. Mexico's president, Claudia Sheinbaum, warned U.S. President Donald Trump on Tuesday that his vow to impose high tariffs on imported Mexican goods would inflict harm on both countries because of course it will. Of course it will. Of fucking course it will. She also pointed out in a video that the main driver of the drug crisis in Mexico is American weapons. 70% of weapons being seized by the Mexican law enforcement are American-made weapons. So the drug crisis that's being fueled by the American consumption is leading to a Mexican gun crisis. But as Americans, we stir our soup with guns, so there's not much we could do there. Yeah, I mean, it's almost it's mind-numbingly amazing how people have not realized that this dude has no freaking clue what he's talking about when it comes to macroeconomics. I mean, the dude went through how many bankruptcies? He bankrupted a casino. He bankrupted several companies with his name on it. He got banned from ever doing work as a charity again because he was stealing money from the charity. He just got found liable for tax fraud in New York. Like, America, you could do better, girl. Like, you don't have to stay with that guy. You could do better. But, oh no, you invited all his friends too in the House and Senate? Oh, man. Okay, we got to work on an exit strategy for you, girl. It's not this isn't a healthy situation. So, yeah, so I think all we can do is hope for the special election next year. I mean, the House is getting tighter. Another Democrat just flipped a seat, so it's making it a really, really tight majority a really, really tight majority that the Republicans hold in the House. The Senate is still pretty harsh, but 2026 isn't that far away, and there will be some Senate seats up there, and we'll talk about those as those come up, and we'll talk about any special elections that come up with the House seats. So yeah, for now, just stay active. You can follow me on Blue Sky at Radical Think HQ. Yeah, so until next time, that's all I got for you right now, and we'll talk later. Adios.